Hi, welcome to the island of Hawaii, home of the most active volcano in the world and also some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. My name is Greg, your car angel, and in this video we'll be doing a review on the 4th generation Nissan Quest. Now the Nissan Quest has always been the dark horse against the rivals, the Toyota Sienna and the Honda Odyssey, and for good reason. It was plagued with problems going back to the introduction of this line. In the beginning, Ford and Nissan had a joint agreement. Ford had the Windstar and Nissan had the Quest. And in 2004, Nissan finally broke away from Ford and decided to go on its own. Now, some of the problems that came up with the Nissan Quest in those early years, especially 2004 and 2005, were because Nissan had the plant at Canton, Mississippi, which had lots of quality control issues. By the time the Japanese were able to get over here and figure out some of the problems and fix them, it was already 2008 and 2009. So that was the 3rd generation, but this is the 4th generation now, and a lot of those problems have been resolved. This car is built in Japan. Oddly enough, it's not sold in Japan, which is a real anomaly. Now the heart and soul of the Nissan Quest is the 3.5 engine. This engine is sleek, smooth, and powerful. It can also be found in the Nissan Maxima. Now, they made it the 3.5 engine with the CVT transmission. Now, normally I'm not a fan of CVT transmissions such as on the Subarus, but in this car it does really well. Nissan has done a great job at the engineering of the CVT transmission, and it's very seamless in its acceleration. It feels really good actually. Because you have a CVT transmission, you're getting a little better gas mileage than you would expect. I've been getting about 22 miles per gallon mixed city and highway driving. Now that's great, and it's got a 20-gallon tank, which means I've been getting 450 to 460 miles per tank. Now I've driven this car over 1,000 miles on my vacation here in Hawaii with my family, and I can tell you that it's been an extremely comfortable ride, and it's a quiet vehicle. It feels solid. I don't really have any complaints about the driving portion of this car. Some of my complaints though are more about the safety and some of the odd characteristics that this car has in regards to being kid friendly. One of the main reasons you buy a minivan to begin with is because it's a family vehicle and you'll have your family inside as occupants. Now, for whatever reason, minivans have always scored fairly low overall in safety, and the Nissan Quest scores particularly low on the small overlap impact by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. Now that could be a deal breaker right there for you. One of the things that separates the Nissan Quest from the rivals Sienna and the Odyssey is that the Nissan Quest is only a 7-seater, whereas the Sienna and the Odyssey are 8-seaters. That could be an issue for you right there. One of the biggest differences between the Nissan Quest and the Sienna and the Odyssey is in the back here. The cargo area is much different in its design in the Quest than it is in the other two cars. The first thing you'll see is that you have this compartment here, which is very, very generous, and you have a lot of space to hide your things. You do not have this space that can be concealed in the other two cars. Another nice design in this Nissan Quest is that these seats very easily fold down. In my opinion, Nissan did a much better job on the cargo area than the Odyssey and the Sienna, in that the second row seats simply fold down in order to achieve a nice flat cargo area. In the Odyssey and the Sienna, one has to actually physically take these two seats out manually. They're very heavy and they're cumbersome in order to get this into a flat configuration. In order to get access to the third row seat, you simply do this. Now, that is one of the hallmarks of the Nissan Quest, is that this rear area here is a lot more practical in real-world usage than the other designs found in the Sienna and the Odyssey. One of the problems that the Nissan Quest has is in the liftgate. Now, unless you're going to purchase the SL or the very expensive Platinum Edition, this liftgate is manual, and that presents a problem. Kids have a hard time pulling this liftgate down because they cannot reach the top or they cannot reach this handle, and it's very, very heavy. Even my wife complains that it's really heavy and cumbersome. The instrument cluster is very easy to read. Nothing complicated about that. Everything on the steering wheel controls is fairly straightforward. You have your dual sliding door controls right there onto the left. And just in general, everything is very straightforward, easy to use, not complicated, and I like that about any car. Even the base model Quest has dual functioning air. The dashboard is nicely laid out. You have plenty of little cubby spaces for your drinks. You have a total of 8 cup holders in the front. You have one on the door there. You have these 2 here, and then you have the 4 on the center console. You also have a couple of nice little cubby holes, one here, and then you have one down here. One of the complaints I do have is that the USB port here, which also serves as the auxiliary port, there's only one, which is surprising. My kids are already complaining that they don't have enough ports to plug their devices in, much less my own. So that does present a bit of a problem for a bigger family such as mine. So there you have it, the review on the 4th generation Nissan Quest. It has a lot of great things going for it: practicality, comfort, convenience, but it comes up short on the issue of safety. I'm Greg, your car angel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.